Yo, what's going on, man? Today is October the 17th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We will go through a quick recap of what we saw in Game 3, and then we'll move on to Game 4. I told you guys how I'm looking at a spread pick. And then I also got 2 player props that I'm looking at for this game as well. All transparency, the biggest bet that I have is for the Liberty to win the championship, like I've talked about for quite some time now. So anything that I bet in Game 4 will be a smaller bet, just being transparent, but wanting to share, looks and kind of let you guys know how I'm thinking about the game. So in Game 3, nice little 3-0 sweep. We took the under before the game started. I gave that one out on the show. We took the under again at the end of the first quarter because the first quarters are 3-0 to the over so far. And there was a much better time to grab the Liberty at plus 4.5. Sent the last 2 out to the members. So we cashed all 3 of those. I think the player props that I gave out ended up going 0-2 with the ones that I liked. I told you guys I haven't played them. But I think they ended up going 0-2. So Brenna hits the 3 at the end of the game, which I was happy about. But I know that killed the under 2.5, even though she went into the fourth quarter, I think, not even had made a 3 at all. And then Courtney Williams has her worst game of the playoffs in general too. So probably a nice bounce back for her, but we'll get into that. WNBA playoffs is treated us nicely though, 17-9, up almost 6.5 units. Just a quick recap on these team previews. All of them are completed now. If you guys are interested in, diving into NBA before the season starts on, Tuesday night, definitely recommend, looking into these team previews. I've broken every team down, talked about win totals, all of those different things. So check those out and let's jump into it. So we got Liberty Lynx Game 4 in Minnesota. I think injury report is pretty clean for both teams, even though we will talk about how one player does impact the injury report here, even though she's not officially listed. So Game 3, we saw the Lynx kind of come out and punch first, and that's what Coach Crystal Reeves wanted. She said her team had looked, really, she was pissed the day it went down 17 points in the first 2 games, but it happens. The Liberty battled back though, battle tested, as I kind of thought that they would. Liberty Lynx definitely came out, threw their best punch, and they threw it early in that game. Liberty struggled to shoot the ball from the 3-point line, even though they ended up shooting the ball 40% from the 3-point line, which is actually really good, 10 for 25. The rebounds, the Lynx were able to keep the Liberty off the glass, 33-32. Liberty only ended up winning by 1. Minnesota was dominating the offensive glass at one point in time as well, but they finished only up 1. So you just kind of see the Liberty kind of hawk this team down. Everything else was pretty solid, pretty even as well. 18 assists to 20. Turnovers, 18 for the Liberty. I think they do a better job protecting the basketball. It's only 12 for the Lynx. You guys can see that as well. Not a lot of fast break points on either side. Points in the paint were tied as well. And Liberty had to do a lot to overcome that 15-point deficit, though. So how I'm thinking about Game 4 is I'm thinking that the Lynx early, to me, just makes a ton of sense. I think the first quarter is +1 on most books. I'm not a big first quarter bettor. Like I said, if I do better, it'll be a smaller play, but that is what kind of stands out to me a lot. I think we get a spot here for the Liberty to kind of exhale a bit after winning a Game 3 in dramatic fashion with the Sabrina Ionescu logo 3-point shot. And if you've been following this Liberty team throughout the season, they can be their own worst enemy at times. It's games like this where they typically come out flat in the next game, specifically early, and then they have to reel it back in. We've seen that time and time again. I mentioned this after Game 2, and one of the reasons why I like the Liberty in Game 3 is because they lost home court in Game number 1. So I knew that they were going to be, in my mind, it made sense for them to be super motivated and come out and try to win Game 3 and give it everything that they had so they didn't go down 2-1 in the series, and they will have to win back-to-back games, which now the Lynx will have to win back-to-back games to win this series. So now is a spot where it kind of feels like this is what the Liberty do. Even in Game 3, last round against the Las Vegas Aces, they come out and get absolutely smoked. No defense at all in that game, and they lose pretty handily. I'm not saying that the Lynx are going to do that to them, but I do think that Minnesota early makes a ton of sense. Even the queries that I looked at, I think home dogs in game 4s specifically of the playoffs. And, it's a pretty profitable trend to jump on that dog early. This is something that makes sense in NBA as well as WNBA. So that's the spread pick that I like. If I like the Lynx, I like them early. I do think the Liberty are absolutely capable of winning this game and winning the championship, in Minnesota. This is a team that, throughout the season, I gave out the records last show for game 3s. But this is a team that, throughout the season, they were the best road team in the WNBA, had the best defense and best ATS record and straight up record. So that's why I like Minnesota early. Like I said, I do think the Liberty still win the game. Not sure if it's going to be by 2 possessions. Player prop wise, it's Jacquel Jones for me. You can combine her points plus rebounds. I think the line's available on FanDuel. It's also available on Bet365 if you guys have access. Jacquel is coming off her lowest rebounding game in the playoffs, not just in this series, but in the playoffs in general. She had 5 boards in game 3. So this screams bounce back to me. She had 10 rebounds and 9 rebounds in games 1 and 2. And, Minnesota did a really good job of trying to, take her away. A big reason for that, though, is because Elena Smith was out there really doing her job. She was, I think, second team all defense in W this season. And it sounds like she's going to play, but even if she does, she won't be 100%. She did tell the media today that, quote, the plan is to play, end quote, in game 4. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think that she'll be 100%, and they definitely needed her. If you could see it in the game, but if you went back and just checked the box score, she's the best defender to slow down Jacquel Jones. The Lynx were a plus 20 with her on the floor, Elena Smith. They were a minus 19 when Misha Hines-Allen was on the floor as her replacement. So I think JJ can get a few more offensive and defensive rebounds in this spot. She should be able to clear a points prop. I think it's 13.5, especially if Elena Smith, is not playing big time minutes. So that's the player prop that I like the most on the Liberty side. On the Minnesota Lynx side, I would just go back to Courtney Williams. I just think that, it's been difficult for Fee throughout this whole series because she has a 7-foot wingspan. Breanna Stewart, I continuously talk about this, even though I think she did go up and over her player prop in game 3. But they're going to need somebody else to step up. Bridget Carlton had a really good first half, and then she kind of went ghost. And Courtney Williams going to continue to get the shots. She shot the ball really poorly, and I think the shots will still be there for her here. She still finished with 8 assists, even though she only had 12 points in game number. Let's see. She finished with. She had 8 assists. Yeah, she had 8 assists in the last game, but she couldn't really score the ball. She ended up with just 12 points, I think it was, in game 3. So I think she bounced back in a pretty big way. She's played this team really, really well throughout the first couple games. But yeah, that's the way I would bet. I just think that, she probably won't shoot 4 for 14 again. She probably won't shoot 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. She missed a lot of bunnies as well. So I like Courtney Williams. Her number for her points plus assists is the way that I would play it. And that number is currently listed at 18.5. I think she goes up and over to 18.5. I think you can also get a 17.5 depending on where you're shopping. So those are the 2 player props that I like the most. I don't want to bet on New York as far as the full game side perspective is concerned. I don't want to bet on New York because I do kind of feel like this could be a tad bit of a flat spot for them. I think you can get a better number live, especially after that huge 15-point come from behind win. But I could see them, like I said, playing well again here, especially without Elena Smith. Throughout the playoffs, they played better as the series went on. We saw that last round versus Vegas in that series outside of game 3. They go in Vegas for game 4, absolutely smoke Vegas in that. And they responded well after going down 0-1 in this series as well. So, Coach, shout out to Coach Sandy Brondello and, Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Phoebish, all of those players, even Sabali off the bench, all had a good game. Benajelini Hamilton came back down to earth last game, but she played well also. As far as the total, just some quick thoughts on the total. As much as I like the under in game 3, there's some hesitations from going back to it, in my opinion here. First, there's the potential for a close game that could lead to some late free throws that pushes this up and over the total, especially when it drops 2 points. It was 161 and a half because it got bet up. I think they finished 150, 158, 54, something, 156, something like that. So the total does go under, but it barely went under. If Sabrina misses that three, you probably go to overtime and you go over the total. Then there's the Lena Smith injury as well, Alana Smith injury as well. And without her on the floor, I think the Liberty's offense plays a little bit better. What we saw in game 2. They scored 45 points in the second half after only having 35 points in the first half. And in my opinion, that had a lot to do with Alana Smith's injury. So as much as I want to play the under again, because I always talk about teams getting like there's a familiarity that comes with playing the same team over and over again, knowing what they want to do, and it's just being, do you have the will, the mental capacity to go out there and stop those things? So as much as I lean under with the total coming down, Alana Smith, not knowing how effective she's going to be, even though I don't expect her to be super effective, I think in the free throw shooting or a potential close game late, I think I'll stay off the total in this one. If I'm playing anything, it'll be exactly what I just told you guys, which would be Minnesota early, first quarter plus the 1.5. Like I said, there's one on most books, but you can get a 1.5, a little bit of juice. And Jacko Jones, I think, is a bounce back game for her, especially with the Alana Smith injury. Courtney Williams over her 17.5 points plus assists, I think are really good money in this game here. Those are the ways that I would play it. Let me know how you guys would play it. What are your best bets here? Do you guys think Minnesota has a chance to win this game and then potentially go to New York and win game 5 as well? Do you think it's over? If so, do you think New York covers? How would you bet it from a player prop perspective? Let me know what you guys thinking in the comment section. All my official plays will be shared with members when I do pull a trigger on them. I'll kind of sleep on it tonight, figure out what I want to do, and send some plays out tomorrow. Probably won't be on the side though, because if New York wins, I win. We got a 2-unit bet on them, so probably won't be there. Resources, always leave them here for you guys. Check them out if you're interested. Referral code CBC will give you 20% off of OzJam, 50% off for Money Baller using code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's and 2 N's. Links for both of those can be down in the description of the video as always. And that's it, man. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. Bet responsibly as always. I'll be live in the morning again. And NBA right around the corner. Super excited for that. I'll tail off at NFL, jump right into NBA. And we'll do it like that, man. Best of luck to you guys on all your action. Catch you guys in the next one.